I was born in Dayton, Ohio. I lived out in like the Trotwood, Westwood area for the majority of my youth, and then when I went into high school, I moved closer out into Kettering, and I went to Archbishop Alter High School. From there, I decided to go to Oklahoma State for 2 years, and then I transferred to Ohio State.
So that move from Oklahoma State, obviously, you uproot from Ohio, you go to an unfamiliar place. What did you get out of that experience before coming back here?
I honestly think it was as though there was hardships, I think it was probably one of the best things for me. With everything that happened, with so much that was going on and having to mature and grow on my own, I think it really allowed me to become the person that I am and helped me to know exactly what to do in certain situations and things like that. So I think it was a major component of me being able to mature and grow.
The decision to come back here, what was rooted in that?
I knew I wanted to be closer to home, and then I think that was also kind of important. I felt like it would be kind of cool for my family to be able to see my last 2 years because they really weren't able to see too many games when I was at Oklahoma State. So, and then I just, felt like being at Ohio State was just a really good opportunity for me.
How weird was that going from OSU to OSU?
I thought it was funny, but in some way I was like, yeah, that seems right, I don't know. But it was funny.
What's the better color scheme?
Oh, here for sure. Oh gosh, here for sure.
So I mean, kind of going off of the play on that, Braxtin Miller, I'm sure you get it 100 times with a guy that played football here. Your name's spelled differently. How often do you get that when you see people?
I don't get it as much as I used to, because I don't know if you know, he's from Dayton as well. So when he was just even in high school, I was already hearing a lot about it, and when he was coming up. So I've heard it for years. I mean, honestly, years, since my freshman year of high school. And so it's been a big thing, but I actually haven't heard it here as much as I used to.
What do you tell people? That it's spelled differently? Like, what do you say when people do bring it up? Because it's kind of inevitable, right, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of weird questions, like, are we related? Like, no. Was I named after him? Like, he's only like a few years older than me. Like, so no, that's definitely not. But yeah, I just it's spelled differently, but it's just a coincidence. We're from the same part of Dayton.
Have you ever had a chance to reach out to him with him being from kind of that same area, that part of Dayton, and obviously being a Buckeye?
No, actually. I have never met him. We've never spoken. I think my cousins went to school with him in high school, but that's as much as I know. I've never actually spoken to him.
When you were growing up, how much of a chance did you get to see Ohio State play, specifically this program, but also maybe the football program where you saw someone like Braxtin Miller?
I saw it a lot, honestly. And Ohio State was the first team to recruit me, so I went to like a lot of football games and all of that recruiting. So I got to see the whole experience a lot, and Kelsey Mitchell was kind of from not my area, but kind of in that whole scheme, and so I saw her a lot, and then come to Ohio State, so I got to see the whole dynamics of Ohio State a lot.
What was your experience like when you were first recruited here, and how did they change when you were recruited the second time around, transferring? Because obviously you were a high school kid, and then you're someone that's been through college for a couple of years.
So I think because they offered me in the 8th grade, so I was particularly young. I think they tried to sell kind of like the next Braxtin Miller a bit, and then that I could be close to home and things like that, but that was the thing at that time. I didn't really want to be close to home. I was excited to leave Dayton, get out of Ohio. So then the second time when I was transferring, that was one thing that they were able to sell me on more, as being close to home, and then just that they were having such a young team, so they were going to need someone of that had experience of I've started in the Big 12 for 2 years, and just to be able to come onto a team and be a leader to a lot of young people who haven't really had the same experiences I had since then.
How much did you maybe appreciate more the fact that you're living and get to play in the state that you grew up in after going away for a couple of years?
I definitely appreciate it. It was weird because I came back and immediately I was really the first time I walked in the building, there was someone here that I didn't even remember, but he was like, Braxtin Miller, I remember you from the state championship games in high school. I saw you were coming back here, and I was so excited. So right away it was just kind of a surreal experience, because I went from a state where no one knew me and no one had any idea of me or anything like that, and had to come to to know me to then a state that everyone had known me for a while. So it was just really different. It was cool though. It was cool.
What are the odds that we go from a Braxtin Miller, one of the best, if not the best player on the football team, to this Braxtin Miller, you being one of the best, if not the best, on this basketball team? What are the odds there?
I don't know. I don't know. We'll just have to see. This whole team is extremely talented. My teammates are amazing, and I think that honestly, any one of us can be the best player on this team at any point in every night, any game. I think that's what makes us so different, is that we honestly have so much talent across the board. So I don't know. I don't know.